Welcome back to Think, Dream, Do, and Achieve. In today's episode, we will be diving into something we all crave, something we chase, something we sometimes complicate more than we need to. I'm talking about happiness, but not the Instagram filtered version, not the only on good days kind. I'm talking about the quiet, steady, deep-rooted kind of happiness, the kind that lasts. Now, here's the truth. Happiness isn't just a lucky accident. It's not something reserved for the chosen few. It's a practice. It's a rhythm. It's a series of small decisions made daily. And more than anything, it's a collection of habits. Yes, habits, because the way we live each day adds up to the way we feel about our life. So I'm going to break down 15 powerful habits that will help shape a life you love waking up to. Some are simple. Some are bold. All of them are doable and backed by real shifts I've seen in my own life and in people I also admire. This episode isn't just a checklist. It's a conversation, a reminder, a reset. Whether you're looking to build more peace, more joy, more connection, or just feel a little more like yourself again. These 15 habits are your invitation to do just that. So grab a coffee or take me with you on your walk, your drive, your dishwashing, and let's get right into it. 15 habits that will shape a happy life. When was the last time you could truly say, I'm truly happy with everything in my life? Do you find yourself longing for the days when you had no responsibility? Like when you were a child, when the world was a playground and life was an adventure. In today's episode, I will show you how to reclaim that feeling. So let's set a course to get there. Let's talk about these 15 powerful habits, principles, and shifts in perspective that will improve your life forever. First, let's discuss adventure. Now, when I say adventure, most people think of climbing Mount Everest, sailing the Pacific Ocean, or quitting their job to travel the world. And yes, that's one type of adventure, but it's not the only kind. Adventure is so much more than that big cinematic moment. It's not always about danger or distance. Sometimes it's simply a mindset. It's waking up in the morning and saying, today I will step into the unknown on purpose. Adventure is walking into a tough conversation with your heart open. It's deciding to try something you've never done before, even if you might fail. It's choosing to believe in yourself, especially when it's hard. Every single day, life hands you an invitation, not a guarantee, not a map. An invitation to explore, to expand, to say yes to something that might scare you a little, because that fear, that's where the magic begins. Life isn't a straight line. It zigs, it zags, it twists, it turns. And the moments that shake you, they aren't detours. They're simply just chapters. Chapters in a bigger story you're still writing. You know, Bob Bitchin once said something I'll never forget. Attitude is the difference between an ordeal and an adventure. Let that sink in. The moment you shift your attitude, you change your story. That delay, maybe it's not bad luck. Maybe it's a plot twist. And the loss, maybe it's not an ending. Maybe it's a setup for growth. And that fear, maybe it's just the doorway you've been waiting to walk through. The unfamiliar doesn't have to be your enemy. It can actually be your greatest ally. Because some of the best moments in life, growth, love, courage, joy, they all live outside your comfort zone. You are the hero. You are not the background character. You are the hero in your own story. And the hero's journey, It always begins with a single uncertain step into the unknown. You don't need all the answers. You don't need a perfect plan. You simply need the courage to say, let's go. So say yes to the risk. Say yes to the mess. Say yes to the beauty of not having it all figured out. Yet. Adventure doesn't wait for you to be ready. It waits for you to say yes. So say it out loud, in your heart, in the quiet of your morning, or the chaos of your evening. Say yes. Yes to living boldly. Yes to falling and learning and laughing and trying it all over again. Yes to the wild, weird, wonderful ride that is your life, because in the end, the difference between an ordeal and an adventure isn't the situation. It's the story you choose to tell yourself. So choose wisely, choose joy, choose courage, and yes, most importantly, choose adventure. And on our list is the magic of being patient. Friends, this is a topic that doesn't always get the spotlight it deserves. Patience might not be flashy. It may not win awards or trend online, but I'm here to tell you, patience is a kind of magic, a rare and powerful magic, and right now, it might be the exact kind you need. Now, I know it's easier said than done because we do live in a world that prides itself on instant gratification. One-click shopping, instant messages, streaming anything you want in seconds, same-day delivery, swipe left, tap here, get it now. Does any of this sound familiar? We've been conditioned to expect everything right now. But let me ask you something. Are the things that matter most in life really instant? Think about it. A strong relationship that takes years of love, listening, and learning. A meaningful career that takes effort, setbacks, perseverance, healing from heartbreak, trauma, failure that takes time, and your personal growth, becoming the person you're truly meant to be, that, my friend, does not come with a tracking number. Molière once said, trees that are slow to grow bear the best fruit. Let that stand for a second. Because what if the slowness you're experiencing right now isn't a delay, but perhaps, in actuality, it's a design? What if you're not falling behind, but actually being rooted deeper? The world tells you to rush, but life tells you to grow quietly, steadily, deeply. When you plant a seed, you don't expect the fruit the next day, right? You water it, you nurture it, you give it sunlight and time, and maybe, just maybe, you trust that something unseen is happening beneath the surface. That right there is patience, not laziness, not passivity, not giving up. Patience is powerful. It is strength under control. It's saying, I may not be there yet, but I do trust the process. I believe in the journey. I believe in me. Now listen, I get it. Waiting can feel like the hardest thing in the world, but when everyone else seems ahead, when you've been putting in the work and nothing seems to be shifting, when life is asking you to hold on longer than you expected, it's easy to start doubting, easy to start comparing, easy to feel like you've missed your moment. But let me remind you of something. You don't need to rush what's meant for you. What's yours is already finding its way through timing, through lessons, through opportunities still unfolding. Your job isn't to force it. Your job is to stay steady, to keep growing, to be becoming. Think about a bamboo tree. You water it, you care for it, and for years, nothing. No visible growth. It looks like you're failing. But beneath the soil, it's building a foundation strong enough to support what's coming. And then one day, seemingly overnight, it shoots up a foot at a time. How about that? That's not magic. That's patience rewarded. And you are no different. The time you're waiting, it's not wasted. It's working. It's preparing you for something you're going to be proud of. A future version of you is going to look back and say, thank you. Thank you for not giving up. Thank you for trusting. Patience is not the absence of action. It's action aligned with faith. It's waking up every day and showing up, even when the results haven't arrived yet. Think about the greatest athletes, the most iconic creators, the strongest relationships. They all have one thing in common. They were built over time, through repetition, through discipline, through 1,000 tiny steps that nobody ever saw. But each one mattered. So to you, the one feeling stuck or slow or unsure, please hear me. You are not behind. You are becoming. The root system is growing. The foundation is being laid. The character is being shaped. So breathe. Stay steady. Keep showing up, because the things that matter most, they're not just waiting for. They are worth growing for. And when you arrive, not rushed, not burnt, not broken, but ready, you won't just reach the finish line. You will have grown into the kind of person who belongs there, the kind of person who can hold the blessings without breaking under the weight. So today, hold on, stay focused, and most importantly, trust. Trust your journey, trust your roots, and trust that what's meant for you is simply still on its way. One day at a time, one breath at a time, one act of patience at a time. And when it arrives, you'll know, because you will be ready. Moving on to number 3, practicing good hygiene. Now, I know when we hear the word, our minds might jump to the basics. Showering, brushing teeth, washing hands. It seems obvious, even routine, but let me invite you to look at it differently. Because taking care of your body isn't just about looking clean. It's about choosing to respect yourself. It's about saying, I matter. My presence in this world matters, and I'm going to show up like I know that's true. Every time you wash your face in the morning, or brush your teeth, or take the time to care for your skin, you're doing something far deeper than hygiene. You're practicing self-worth. That small act of grooming, it's a powerful signal. It says, I deserve to be cared for. I deserve to feel good in my own skin. And here's what's truly amazing about that. When you consistently treat yourself with that level of care, the world begins to take notice. People will respond to that energy. When you feel clean, you feel clear. And when you feel clear, you feel confident. And finally, when you feel confident, you show up differently. Stronger, calmer, brighter. Think about how you feel after a long shower. When the grime of the day is washed away, it's not just your body that feels lighter. It's your mind. There's a reason they say clean body, clear mind. Because when we let clutter, dirt, or stagnation pile up, whether physically or emotionally, it's harder to move forward. But when we keep ourselves fresh and clean, we become more attuned, more aware. Our mind follows the lead of our bodies. And it's not about perfection. It's not about fancy products or expensive routines. It's about the intention. It's about the presence. Taking 2 extra minutes to truly care for yourself in the morning says something powerful. Today, I show up for myself before I show up for anyone else. And let me tell you, that kind of self-respect, It ripples. You walk differently. You speak more clearly. You make decisions with more confidence. You set higher standards for how you treat yourself and how others treat you. Practicing good hygiene is also a beautiful act of mindfulness. It brings you into the now. The simple fact of washing your hands, brushing your hair, moisturizing your skin, it's a pause, a ritual, a reset. And in a world that's constantly rushing, where we're pulled in every direction, these small moments of caring for yourself become anchors. They ground us. They bring us back to the center. So, if you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or disconnected from yourself, start small. Start with a clean shirt, a fresh face, a warm shower, a deep breath. These aren't luxuries. They're lifelines, because the truth is this: the way you treat yourself sets the tone for everything else in your life. So today, don't just brush your teeth. Remind yourself that you're worth the care. Don't just wash your face. Face your day with purpose. Don't just take a shower. Use it as a sacred act of renewal, because good hygiene isn't just cleanliness. It's confidence. It's clarity. It's self-respect in action. So go ahead. Take care of yourself like you matter, because you do. And when you feel good in your skin, the world becomes a little easier to face. Clean body, clear mind, confident heart. On to number 3, exercise. Keeping yourself moving. Now, I want to start with this. Please, don't think of exercise as a punishment. It's not something you have to do because you ate a cookie or because summer's around the corner. Exercise is not a punishment. In fact, it should be a celebration of your body, a celebration of the fact that you can move. Because let's be honest, there are people in this world who would give just about anything to be able to stretch, to walk, to lift, to dance without pain, without limitation. And yet here we are, able to move freely. What a gift that is. So today, I invite you to stop seeing movement as an obligation and start seeing it as a privilege. Even 20 minutes a day, a brisk walk, some light stretching, a dance party in your kitchen can completely shift your mental weather. I'm not talking about six-pack abs or marathon medals. I'm simply talking about clarity, joy, resilience, because when your body moves, your mind breathes. Now, let me share you something personal. My favorite form of exercise, hands down, is walking. Simple, right? But don't let its simplicity fool you. There is a power in a good walk. A walk can clear your mind, open your heart, help you to process the tangled thoughts of a busy day. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "All truly great thoughts are conceived while walking." Now, isn't that the truth? Some of my best ideas, my deepest breakthroughs, my biggest emotional releases, they didn't come from me sitting on a couch staring at my phone. They came when I was out there, moving, one step at a time, in the rhythm of the world, in the flow of myself. You see, movement, any kind of movement, it isn't just about muscles. It's about momentum. It gets things going when you're stuck. It untangles your nerves when you feel anxious. It reconnects you to your breath, your power, your purpose. And the beautiful thing, you don't have to be an athlete. You don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment. You just need a body that's willing and a mind that's open. So, find what you love, not what burns the most calories, not when everyone else is doing either. What lights you up? Is it dancing like nobody's watching? Yoga in the morning sun? Boxing out your stress? Walking through the neighborhood, letting your mind wander? Whatever it is, that's your practice. That's your celebration. And here's another truth. Exercise doesn't just change your body. It changes your identity. It reinforces the message, I am someone who shows up for myself. Every drop of sweat, every stretch, every deep breath is you investing in your future self. It's you saying, I am worth the time. I am worth the effort. I want to feel good, not just today, but every day. So, if you're feeling stuck, move. If you're feeling sad, move. If you're feeling overwhelmed, unmotivated, anxious, or even unsure of what to do next, move. Even slowly, even gently. Just move. Because when you move, everything moves with you. Your thoughts, your emotions, your energy, and that's where transformation begins. So don't overthink it. Don't wait for the perfect time or the perfect plan. Start small. Start today. Start wherever you are. Because movement is medicine. It's therapy. It's meditation. And most of all, it is freedom. So go out there. Celebrate your body. Celebrate your life. And remember, the goal isn't perfection. It's progress. It's presence. It's power. So step into your power. One breath, one move, one day at a time. Moving on to number 5, spending time outside. In a world filled with screens, scrolling, deadlines, and noise, it's easy to forget something simple, something grounding, something ancient. The outdoors. Yes, the outside world. That place beyond the 4 walls of your home or office. The space beyond the glare of your phone or laptop screen. Nature, pure, untamed, wildly beautiful. That's your reset button. Let's pause for a second. Think about this. When was the last time you stood still under a big open sky? When was the last time you felt the sun warm your skin or listened, really listened to the wind rustling through the trees like soft whispers from the earth itself? That's not just scenery. That's therapy. It's soul care. It's clarity. It's a sacred space where your mind can breathe, your heart can slow, and your spirit can remember that it belongs to something far bigger than spreadsheets, social media, or stress. Because sometimes the best way to move forward is to step outside. It doesn't have to be a mountain trek or wilderness expedition. Just opening the door and letting the sun greet your face, that can be enough. Take off your shoes and run through the grass barefoot. Feel the textures under your feet, the coolness of morning dew, the richness of earth. Let your body remember what it's like to be part of nature, not separate from it. John Muir once said, "The winds will blow their own freshness onto you, and the cares of life will drop off like autumn leaves." What a beautiful truth, because the outdoors doesn't demand anything from you. It simply just invites you to slow down, to listen, to be. See, when life feels loud and the pressure's too much, nature gives you space. When anxiety clouds your mind and every thought is spinning, nature offers stillness. And when you feel lost, disconnected, uncertain of who you are or where you're going, nature gently whispers, "You are enough, just as you are. Come home to yourself." And let's talk about the science of it for a moment, too. Time spent in nature is proven to lower stress hormones, decrease blood pressure, boost your mood, increase creativity, and improve sleep. It literally changes your brain chemistry. Every 10 minutes outside can be a total game changer. So no, this isn't a luxury. It's not a nice to have for people with extra time. It's a necessity. Your mind needs the sky. Your soul needs the sea. Your lungs need the fresh air. And your heart, it needs a reminder that the world is wide, you're not alone, and life doesn't happen at full speed all the time. So go outside. Take a walk in the park. Sit under a tree with your thoughts. Watch a sunrise or sunset or the stars poking holes in the sky. It's a beautiful thing. Listen to the birds. Smell the rain. Feel the wind. Let your senses come alive. Let nature do what it does best. Heal you, calm you, call you back to what matters. Because out there in the fields, in the forest, along the shorelines, that's where peace lives. That's where you'll find your center again. That's where you'll remember that your life is more than your schedule, more than your emails, more than your to-do list. The world isn't just your screen. It's sky and soil and sun and stars. Go meet it. So I challenge you today, no matter how busy you feel, step outside, even for 5 minutes, even if it's just your backyard or the street outside your home. Let the world remind you there is beauty everywhere, that there's life waiting to be felt, and that there's always room to breathe. So reconnect, recharge, reignite, because the answers you're looking for, they might not be in your inbox. They just might be waiting right outside your front door. Moving on to number 6, cultivating gratitude. You know, gratitude is more than just a way of saying thank you. It's a way of seeing, a way of showing up in the world, a way of living from a space of abundance rather than lack. Because here's the truth. Gratitude is a magnet. It draws goodness into your life, not just because everything is perfect, but because you're willing to see the good even when things are not. You see, it's not happiness that makes us grateful. It's gratitude that makes us happy. When you start to notice the small things, the quiet things, the often overlooked things, something shifts inside you. Your attitude changes. Your energy lifts. You start attracting more of the beauty that you choose to see. And that's the magic. Gratitude just doesn't reflect your world. It actually shapes it. Willie Nelson once said, "When I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around. Not just because everything suddenly got easier, but because he got clearer. He changed the lens, and sometimes that's all it takes." So let me ask you this. Have you said thank you today? Not just to someone, but to life itself, to your breath, to your morning coffee, to the lessons you learned the hard way. Because every single day, whether it's loud and messy or quiet and smooth, it has something worth honoring. Now let's be honest. Gratitude doesn't erase struggle. It doesn't ignore pain or pretend things are perfect. But what it does, it shifts your focus. It helps you to see where you're standing, even when things fall apart. It's waking up in the middle of the chaos and choosing to say, yes, but I still have this. I still have me. I still have breath. I still have time. Gratitude is a grounding practice. And like anything worth having, it's something you must cultivate daily, deliberately. Start simple. Each morning, before you pick up your phone or dive into the day, pause. Just for 30 seconds. And think of 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. In fact, the smaller the better. A good cup of coffee, a warm blanket, a friend who texted you, a body that carries you. Write them down. Speak them out loud. Feel them in your chest. Do it again tomorrow and the next day. Make it a habit, a ritual, a way of coming home to yourself. You'll be amazed at how differently your day feels when it starts with gratitude rather than stress. When it starts with thank you instead of what's wrong now. Gratitude teaches us to savor, to slow down, to stop chasing and start appreciating. And even in your darkest days, especially in your darkest days, gratitude will be there, offering its light. Because sometimes the most profound gratitude comes from the hardest experiences. You learn to be thankful for the strength you didn't know you had, for the healing you didn't know was possible, for the people who stayed, for the lessons that grew you. So no, gratitude won't solve every problem. It won't pay your bills or take away your pain, but it will give you the perspective to keep going. It'll give you the courage to show up with hope. It will give you the peace, deep peace, soul-level peace, because you'll know that even in the chaos, you are not empty. You're rich, rich in breath, rich in moments, rich in the opportunity to choose again. So today, don't wait for the perfect moment to be grateful. Be grateful and the moment becomes perfect. Turn your ordinary into blessings, your struggles into strength, your moments into memories. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a lifestyle, and when you live from that space, everything begins to change. Number 7, practicing compassion. Every person you meet is carrying a story you will never fully know. They may be facing battles you can't see, wrestling with fears they may never speak of, carrying burdens with a brave face, and sometimes it's not grand gestures that change life. It's the smallest acts of kindness, a smile, a word, a moment of presence that becomes the light in someone's darkest hour. Your presence, your kindness, it could be the difference between despair and hope for someone else. We live in a world that often praises hustle over heart, that lifts up those who push the hardest rather than those who reach back and help. But the truth is, when you lift others up, you rise with them, because compassion isn't just about others. It transforms you too. It truly does. Mother Teresa once said, "I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples." What a powerful reminder that is, that we don't need to fix everything. We don't need to have all the answers. We just need to be willing to show up with love, to be that ripple, to be the calm in someone's storm, to be the kind word in a world full of criticism, to be the patient presence when someone is unraveling. Compassion isn't weakness. It's empathy with courage. It's choosing to feel with others, not just for them, and how we treat others, especially in the moments of tension, pain, or difference. And that says more about who we are than it ever will about them. It's easy to be kind when people are kind to us. It's easy to listen when we agree. But the real power of compassion is choosing kindness when it's hard, when someone's rude, when you're tired, when the world feels heavy. That's when your choice to respond with heart, that's when it matters most. Because let's not forget, people are not problems to fix. They are mysteries to honor. They're books we haven't read, battles we haven't fought, fears we haven't felt. So next time someone cuts you off, snaps at you, or seems off, pause. Ask yourself, what might they be carrying right now? And even if you never found out, you've already chosen to lead with grace. Now, I'm not saying compassion means tolerating abuse or ignoring boundaries. Quite the opposite. Healthy compassion has strong boundaries. It knows when to help and when to walk away in love. It doesn't mean becoming a doormat. It means becoming a door opener to empathy, to healing, to connection. And here's the beautiful truth. Compassion, it's contagious. Your act of kindness might inspire someone else to pass it on. And that ripple you created, it will keep moving, touching people you've never met. So be the reason someone believes in goodness again. Be the stranger who smiled, the friend who stayed, the listener who didn't try to fix, but just sat there and listened. Compassion doesn't need permission. It needs intention. And every day gives you the chance to choose it with your words, with your time, with your presence. Because at the end of the day, we won't be remembered for our resumes, our status, or our likes. We'll be remembered for how we made others feel. So today and every day, practice compassion. Not just when it's convenient, Not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard, because the most courageous thing you can do is love in a world that can be cold. It's to be gentle when life is rough. It's to be light when someone else is waiting for someone else to go first. Let that someone be you. Moving on to number 8, eating well. You know, food, it's a fuel, but it's also much more than that. It's comfort, it's connection, it's culture. And when chosen with care, food becomes something sacred. It becomes soul medicine. Now, I'm not here to tell you to chase perfection. I'm not going to hand you a rigid meal plan or preach about the latest diet trend, because eating well isn't about obsessing over carbs or counting every calorie. It's actually about how you feel. It's about listening to your body, not punishing it. It's about choosing what gives you life, not just what fills your stomach. Think about it this way. Every single heartbeat, every breath you take, every moment of focus, every ounce of motivation, it all starts how you fuel your body. Your body is your home. It's the only one you get. So the way you nourish it, well, that matters. Let's throw away the idea that healthy eating is a punishment. It's not a chore. It's a form of self-respect. It's saying to yourself, I am worth nourishing. My goals are worth fueling. My life is worth investing in. And no, you don't have to be perfect. You don't need to give up everything you love. What you do need is balance, awareness. You need intention. So start small. Add one colorful thing to your plate. Drink one more glass of water. Chew a little slower. Pause to notice how food makes you feel, not just in the moment, but maybe an hour later, the next day, the next week. Because when you eat well, you think better, you sleep better, you show up better. That foggy brain, that low energy, that irritation, a lot of that has roots in what we eat. It truly does. You're not just feeding a body, you're feeding a dream. You're fueling your next breakthrough, your next workout, your next big idea, your next moment of joy. And listen, food is emotional. We celebrate with it. We grieve with it. We gather around it. So honor that. Respect the emotional side of food, but don't let it control you. Instead of using food to fill a void, use food to fuel a vision. Ask yourself this: does this meal serve who I want to become? And if the answer is yes, enjoy it fully, mindfully, gratefully. Because one of the best things you can do for your future self is to treat your body like the precious vessel it is. Not with shame, not with guilt, but with care. Because when you care for your body cares for you right back. So, if you're overwhelmed about where to start, don't aim for a complete overhaul. Aim for momentum. Cook one meal at home this week. Replace one processed snack with something whole. Listen more. Judge less. Eating healthy isn't just a habit. It's a mindset. And that mindset says, I'm in charge of my choices. I am capable of nourishing my life. And you know what happens when you start fueling yourself with good things? You start to attract good things. Energy, focus, confidence, longevity. You begin to walk with clarity. You begin to think with sharpness. You begin to live with purpose. So today and every day, eat with intention. Eat with joy. Eat with gratitude. Let your meals reflect the love you have for yourself and your life. Because greatness, it runs on good fuel. And you, my friend, are destined for greatness. Number 9. Here's another very important one. The importance of sleep. I know, sleep can seem like a luxury in our always-on, hustle-harder world. But let me tell you the truth. Sleep is not a luxury. It's a necessity. And it's your superpower. When you choose to close your eyes at night, your body doesn't shut down. It gears up for its most important work. Now, let's talk about what actually happens while you sleep. This is fascinating. Number one, your brain literally cleans itself. It flushes out toxins, processes the daily information, stores memories, and strengthens neural pathways. This isn't just poetic, it's scientific. The glymphatic system, your brain's waste removal system, activates primarily while you sleep. It's like taking out the mental trash. Your body repairs itself. Muscle tissue rebuilds. Hormones rebalance. Your metabolism resets. Your immune system recharges so it can defend you tomorrow. Sleep is your body's way of saying, I've got your back. Let me rebuild you from the inside out. And emotionally, sleep is your inner peacekeeper. It rebalances your mood, softens your reactions, and gives you a chance to meet tomorrow with more patience, more clarity, and more grace. You wake up less reactive, less anxious, more you. You know, we treat our phones better than we treat ourselves sometimes. We panic when the battery drops to 20%, scrambling for the nearest charger. But here's a question. Why do we expect our minds and bodies to run on 3 hours of sleep and still perform like champions? You're not a machine. You're a living being, a dreamer, a doer, a creator. And your dreams, they require a little bit of rest. You know, Thomas Dekker once said, sleep is the golden chain that ties health and our bodies together. He was so right, because your physical health, your emotional well-being, your mental clarity, it all ties back to this one thing: quality rest. Here's what we know. People who consistently get less than 6 hours of sleep are at higher risk of anxiety, depression, poor concentration, obesity, heart disease, and even weakened immunity. It's not just about feeling tired, it's about living at half power. But on the flip side, when you start prioritizing sleep, you begin to feel alive again. Your brain sharpens, your creativity wakes up, your energy levels rise. You begin making better choices, thinking clearer, loving deeper. Sleep helps you to show up, not just to survive, but thrive. Now, I get it. Life is busy. You've got things to do, people to care for, goals to chase. But let me ask you something. What if the best thing you could do for all of that was to simply rest, to give your body the space to recover, to give your mind the silence it craves, to give your soul the quiet whisper of, you are safe. You can let go. Because when you do, you don't just wake up rested. You wake up powerful. You wake up focused. You wake up ready. Sleep is self-respect. It's self-care. It's self-empowerment. So tonight, put your phone down earlier. Dim the lights. Breathe deeply. Forgive the day and give yourself permission to rest, because tomorrow is waiting. And the best version of you, the clear, energized, emotionally balanced version, comes from a full tank. When you wake up tomorrow, recharged and restored, you'll remember exactly why you started. You'll be ready to build, ready to create, ready to live wide awake. So here's to sleep, not as an escape, because it is a foundation, and greatness needs rest. Number 10, practicing awareness and meditation, another very, very vital habit that will shape a joyful life. Here, let's take in a deep breath together. Inhale and exhale. Now, let's talk about something most of us overlook in the noise of everyday life: awareness and meditation. These two practices aren't just buzzwords or fleeting trends. They're ancient tools, time-tested and soul-approved, and it also holds the key to a calmer, more meaningful, and deeply fulfilling life. So let me start here. Both awareness and meditation begin with one thing: stillness. And stillness, it's really a misunderstood word. We often think of stillness as being empty, passive, or even boring. But stillness is not the absence of movement. Stillness is the presence of everything that matters. Stillness is where answers live. Stillness is where clarity is born. Stillness is where you meet yourself. In a world that never stops moving, where every second is filled with beeps, buzzes, scrolling, and stimulation, stillness is revolutionary. Because here's the truth. Your power just doesn't come from how fast you move. Your power comes from how deeply you can be present. Think about it. When was the last time you sat in complete silence with no distractions and just listened? Not to the outside world, but to the inside one. To your breath, to your thoughts, to your heart. That's awareness. Awareness is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about noticing the way your mind races, the way your body feels, the way your emotions rise and fall. It's about becoming the gentle observer of your experience, not the victim of it. When you cultivate awareness, you begin to recognize your patterns. You will see stories and tell yourself. You will see triggers and start responding instead of acting. And let me tell you, that shift from reaction to response, that is where freedom lives. Yes. Now, let's talk about meditation. Meditation is often pictured as this sitting cross-legged on a mountain in total peace. But guess what? You don't need a mountaintop. You just need a moment. Even 5 minutes a day. Yes, just 5. And that can dramatically change the way you move through life. Meditation teaches you to return to your breath, to return to the now, to return to your center. And when life is spinning, when stress builds up, when people push your buttons and everything feels like it's a little too much, meditation is how you will take your power back. It's not about clearing your mind. It's about clearing the path so you can walk through life with more grace, more focus, and more peace. Let's be real. Life isn't slowing down anytime soon, but you can. You can choose to pause, to step out of the storm and into your own presence, because the more you practice awareness and meditation, the more anchored you become. Think of it like this. Awareness is your compass. It shows you where you are. Meditation is your anchor. It keeps you from drifting when life gets heavy. Together, they bring you home to yourself. And here's the beautiful part. The more you return to yourself, the more power you become in the world. You become more patient in your relationships, more focused in your work, more intentional with your time, and more compassionate with your imperfections. You don't have to meditate for an hour a day to feel these benefits. Start with just 2 minutes. Pause before you check your phone in the morning. Breathe deeply while waiting in line. Notice your thoughts when you're stuck in traffic. Those small mindful moments, they matter, because every time you choose awareness over autopilot, every time you choose breath over chaos, you are shaping the kind of life that's not just productive, but peaceful. So today I invite you, be still, be aware, be present, not for the world, but for you, because everything you're chasing out there, the peace, clarity, balance, happiness, it doesn't live out there. It lives inside of you, and all it takes is one breath to find it. Number 11, connecting with others. In our world that praises independence, self-sufficiency, and hustle culture, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the best way to succeed is to go it alone. But here's the truth that cuts through all the noise. We were never meant to travel the road of life by ourselves. No matter how strong, driven or ambitious you are, at some point you'll need someone to lean on, and someone will also need you. So let's talk about connection, real connection, soul level connection, the kind that doesn't just make you feel seen, it makes you feel safe, grounded, understood. And this isn't just about having a bunch of people around. It's about finding your people, your community. It's about discovering those who see you, who reflect back on not just who you are, but who you are becoming. Yes, there's a beauty in standing on your own. There's value in being able to carry your own weight, but there's also strength in asking for help. There's wisdom in knowing when to open up. There's bravery in letting others in. As Amy Poehler once said, find a group of people that challenge and inspire you. Spend a lot of time with them, and it will change your life. Because when you surround yourself with the right people, people who challenge you to grow, who cheer you on when you succeed, and hold space for you when you're breaking down, you start to realize something powerful. You were never weak for needing the connection. You were simply being human. Connection is not a luxury. It's a lifeline, and in times of doubt, darkness, or burnout, it's often the people around us who hold the light. Think about this. A conversation can change the course of your day. A shared laugh can dissolve stress in seconds. A heartfelt, "How are you?" really? That can begin to unravel the knots you've kept tied inside. And these moments, these aren't minor. They are everything. They are the threads that stitch together our shared human experience. You see, relationships are mirrors. The people around you reflect your energy, your growth, and sometimes even your blind spots. They challenge you, uplift you, remind you of who you are when you've forgotten. Now you see, that's the power of connection. So, let's be intentional. Let's reach out, not just when we're struggling, but also when we're celebrating. Let's build community, not just online, but in real life. Let's be present for others, not with a scrolling thumb, but with an open heart. You don't have to have all the answers to connect. You don't have to show up perfect. You just have to show up real. So, text back that friend. Invite someone over for a coffee. Join that book club. Smile at the cashier. Ask someone about their day. And really, really listen to the answer. Because every interaction is a doorway to something deeper. And every act of connection is a vote for something more meaningful. Together, we're stronger. Together, we are more creative, more courageous, and more resilient. Together, we heal. So let's stop pretending that we're supposed to figure all this out alone. Let's drop the mask that says, "I've got this all under control," and replace it with something far more powerful. Vulnerability, authenticity, connection. And you know something else? When you start becoming someone who truly connects with others, you give them permission to do the same. You create a ripple effect of empathy and love, and you become a magnet not just for relationships and friendships, but also for fulfillment. So today, take a moment, look up, open your heart, make the call, offer that smile, start the conversation, because connection is the bridge between surviving and truly living. And your heart, it will thank you for every single step you take across it. Number 12, very important one, celebrating often. You know, when most people hear the word celebration, they think of birthdays, weddings, graduations, the big, grand, glittery milestones. But here's the truth that most people miss. You don't need a giant reason to celebrate. You just need to recognize how far you've come. You can and should celebrate the small wins, because small wins build big lives. See, too many of us are stuck in this mindset that celebration is only reserved for the big stuff. The promotion, the marriage, the big move, the six-pack abs, the dream finally realized. But in reality, those moments are rare. Beautiful, yes, but rare. And if you're only celebrating the big things, you're missing 95% of your life. The real magic, the real growth happens in the in-between. The quiet choices, in the daily grind, in that single moment where you chose to try again, even when giving up seemed easier. So what if we celebrated the days we got out of bed even when we didn't feel like it? We celebrated every time we chose kindness over anger. Every time we drank water instead of soda, took a walk instead of scrolling, spoke up instead of staying silent. Those moments may seem small, but they are truly sacred. They are proof that you're showing up, and that, well, that's worth cheering for. Celebration isn't indulgence. It's acknowledgement, and acknowledging your efforts, your progress, your resilience fuels you to keep going. You're not waiting for joy at the finish line. You're choosing to carry joy with you along the way. You see, when you make celebration a habit, your brain begins to associate growth with reward. You literally rewire your mind to notice progress, to look for what's working. And the more you recognize your efforts, the more momentum you will build, because growth isn't always loud. Sometimes, perhaps, it's quiet. It's choosing to believe in yourself one more day. It's saying no to the thing that drains you and yes to the thing that lights you up, even if it scares you. So yes, celebrate the workout you finished. Celebrate the anxiety you managed. Celebrate the meal you cooked, the mess you cleaned, the moment you laughed when you could have cried. Celebrate you, not just the version you're becoming, but the version you are today, because you are growing, you are learning, you are still here, and that, well, that's worth honoring. So think about this. You've survived things you once thought you couldn't. You picked yourself up more times than you can count, and you've carried your own heart through battles no one ever even knew about. Doesn't that deserve a toast? So go ahead. Light a candle, even if it's just for you. Play your song and dance in your kitchen. Write yourself a note that says, "Hey, I'm proud of you." Take yourself out for a coffee. Invite joy into your life today, not someday, because life isn't just one grand moment. It's millions of little ones stitched together by love, grit, and courage. The question is, will you notice them? Will you celebrate them? As C.S. Lewis once said, there are far better things ahead than any we leave behind. But the way we get to those better things, it's by honoring where we are right now. So celebrate the hard week you got through. Celebrate the lesson learned, even if it came through pain. Celebrate the fact that today you showed up. You didn't quit. You tried. Life is a party. You don't need a reason. You just need a little awareness and a little gratitude. Throw one every chance you get, because every time you celebrate the journey, you make the destination even sweeter. Number 13, enjoying the many forms of entertainment. You know, in the pursuit of our goals, in the grind of daily life, we often forget one essential truth. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Entertainment, music, movies, books, laughter. These aren't distractions. They're reminders. Reminders that joy matters, that imagination is fuel, that a laugh can be as healing as any medication. Listen, when you allow yourself to be moved by a song, to get lost in a story, to laugh until your stomach hurts, you are feeding your soul. Entertainment connects us. It revives us. It gives us the strength to keep going, and sometimes even the courage to dream again. And that right there, that brings us happiness. That isn't a destination. It's something you can feel. Even in a 5-minute dance break, feed your soul with music, laughter, and stories. Don't just consume media. Feel it. Let it move you. Let it lift you, inspire you. So press play, turn the page, laugh out loud. Stare at the painting a little longer. Look at those paint daubs. Imagine if it was you painting that picture. Let the joy in. You deserve this moment. As Plato said, music gives a soul to the universe and life to everything. Now, isn't that beautiful? Number 14, decluttering your space. This is a topic I love. And this is also a topic about the silent weight that we carry. Not in our minds, but in our surroundings. The clutter on your desk, the mess in your closet, the boxes you keep saying you'll get to. They're not just taking up space in your home. They're taking up space in your head. Does any of this sound familiar? I'll get around to it. I'll get around to taking care of that box. I'll get around to the mess in the closet. You know, decluttering isn't just about tidying up. It's a powerful form of self-respect. When you clear your space, you're sending a clear message to yourself. I deserve clarity. I deserve peace. I deserve focus. Every item you let go is one less distraction, one less piece of your past keeping you from stepping fully into your future. When your environment is clean, your energy flows freely. You make better decisions. You breathe deeper. You actually think clearer. Clear the clutter and make room for a life you've been trying to create. Don't let this clutter drain your energy. A clear space equals a clear mind. Think about it and ask yourself this: do I love it? Do I use it? If not, let it go. Clear out the noise. Make room for the new. So today, start small. One drawer, one shelf, one surface. And guess what? You'll begin to feel the shift, because when your space feels lighter, so will your life. We're on to number 15. This is a beautiful one. Learning to smile more often. Sometimes your smile will create utter and pure joy. Thich Nhat Hanh said, sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy. Try it right now. Smile. Guess what? You just shifted something inside. These 15 habits, they're not rules. They're reminders to live, to breathe, to be here. Not in the next promotion or the next relationship or the next goal, but here, now, in this moment, in this body, in this life. And it's yours to shape. So, sleep well, eat well, move, laugh, love, be kind, and never forget, you are the artist of your own well-being. Thank you so much for joining me today as we covered 15 habits that shape a joyful life. Listen, if you're on a journey to grow, heal, or rise, hit that subscribe button, because this space is for you, and we will walk this path together. Looking forward to seeing you again.